let's hope I'm sharing the right thing. I don't know. Can people see? People can probably
I see
see
your
my
Zoom.
all right. Well, that's not what well, I gotta get this bar out of the way. All right. Now I wanted to show, this is what I wanted to show. All right. Awesome. So, all right. Well, we're officially recording now. We are rocking and rolling. Good evening and welcome, members of Team Legacy. We are, well, I'm stoked. I don't know about you, but I am stoked. I don't think, do people even use that word anymore? Am I showing my age?
It's showing
Don't
your age a little bit, but
like
I
saying
think it's
cool.
okay.
It's cool's not
Yeah.
even cool anymore. I don't even know
Yeah.
anymore. Right? I don't even know anymore. But
I think that today's term it's Riz, isn't it? Riz?
Riz, yeah, Riz, is that
Yeah.
the
I
Riz?
think that's a slang. I don't know.
I don't know. Anywho, I am super thrilled at the guest speaker that we're going to be sharing with you this evening. But before we do that, real quick, as I know some folks are still hopping on, we're switching things up tonight, you guys. Normally, Brian and I will we of course welcome our newest team members that joined us in the month of February. So this is your first call. Welcome, congratulations. We're so happy to have you. But we're mixing things up a little bit from our normal team call routine, if you will. And so before we bring on our guest speaker, and then after our guest speaker, we're going to have a group activity that we're going to do together. So make sure you stick around. We want your input. We need your input, okay? But first and foremost, I want to tell you guys, if you didn't know, is that we here on Team Legacy are doing a March Madness bingo. All right, a March Madness bingo. I'm so pumped for this. You actually can go into our team Facebook group, or if you're part of our Amish team, it's in the newsletter. I actually sent you these papers. They all went out in the mail. You're gonna print out your bingo card, and you're gonna play bingo. I don't know who doesn't know how to play bingo. If you don't know how to play bingo, there's some instructions on there. All right, people. I mean, come on, let's help ourselves. But bingo, I love to play bingo. I don't know about you, but I'm a bingo fan. We've done virtual bingos as a team. We usually do them once or twice a year, just as a way to get the team together outside of business, have a little fun, give away some prizes, and do bingo. But this time we're going to do it a little bit differently. So each one of the squares has a specific action that you, as the consultant, are going to take. When you take that action, you get the satisfaction of crossing off one of those squares and working towards a bingo. Now, for every bingo that you earn, you're going to have an opportunity to get your hand on some LifeVantage swag, extra LifeVantage products. I've got a whole list of extra top earner tips. And what I mean by that is I'm talking about we're going to be unlocking top leader tips, multiple 6 and 7 figure earner tips, people who have shared tips with us within these masterminds that we are currently a part of. Yes, across the industry, right? If that doesn't get your excited, right? So, and then if you do a blackout, meaning you cover every single square on your bingo page, all right, then you're going to successfully earn a personal one-on-one coaching with someone who is either an executive 3 or higher level within LifeVantage. So we haven't named the person yet, okay? But this is your opportunity. Earn and learn new top leader tips. You're going to get to be, you can earn a one-on-one coaching session, just you. Can you imagine? Like, what kind of questions would you ask if you were to get a presidential all to yourself? Right? That's a big deal. And along through the process, guess what? I promise you, even if you don't earn a bingo, by simply taking actions on this, you're going to see your business grow. You're going to see movement and growth in your business. And so we thought we'd make things a little bit of fun, throwing in the March Madness. Again, you don't have to love basketball in order to have a little bit of fun in the month of March. Okay. So make sure that you print out that bingo card, that you're tracking that. If you're not sure where, again, how to grab that, you can get that out of our team Facebook group. I think I'm going to have Brian post it also on our team website. So you'll be able to grab it there as well. And as always, we pick these recordings and we put them on our team YouTube channel. So you can always go back and watch the replay of tonight's thing. So I'm going to stop sharing because I'm just, I'm, ugh. I am at a loss for words. I'm so pumped to be introducing our guest speaker to you guys this evening. This individual has been in our the network marketing industry, I want to say for like 2 decades, right, Daniel? More than 20 years, I think, actually. So I didn't get like a whole write-up and bio because I didn't want to read from a script, just to be honest with you. So I've watched him come into our company and in a short amount of time make waves. His personality is unlike anything else. He's a humble guy. It's truly humble. He's funny. You wouldn't know that he's been in this industry for as long as he has just by looking at him. Like seriously, looking at you, I feel old. All right. I mean, we're all activated. Let's be honest. We all look younger than we are, but my goodness. Brian loves this guy because he's a Star Wars geek, just like
Yeah,
Brian.
he's got that going for him for sure.
He's got the Star Wars thing going for him. For those of you on the phone, you can't see it, but he literally has all these lightsabers on his back wall. He's got the Mandalorian helmets. He's got all the things. So, but anyway, we were lucky enough. So obviously, I've seen Daniel on calls. I've seen him on stage at events, but we were lucky enough and blessed enough to be able to spend a little bit more time with him and his daughter, actually, at the first ever executive incentive trip in South Africa. So we got to have meals with them and share experiences unlike anything else. And I was like, you know what? We need to just have this guy on our team call, right? He has so much wealth, so much information, and experience that who couldn't learn a little bit from what Daniel has to share. And so, Daniel, we're going to turn it. I mean, I don't know if you can unmute yourself but I would love for you to just take the stage, share your story with everybody, and share a little bit of wisdom or thoughts if you don't mind. So, and I know it's still early for you. You're West Coast, you're
Yeah,
California.
5 o'clock right now. So I still got a little bit of sun outside before. I mean, you'll probably see it through the back window. I see that you
Yeah.
guys, a lot of you guys are in the evening time right now. So,
Yeah.
first off, Brian, Holly, thank you so much for, inviting me to share on this call with your amazing team. Again, I share this on every call that I do for sort of a cross-line organization. It's like, it's not lost on me that it takes a great deal of trust to be able to invite essentially a stranger into your home. You know what I mean? And this is, albeit that this is an online home, this is a business that the Highfields, fiercely built with blood, sweat, and tears. And to be able to invite essentially a stranger into your home to share with your family information that can either add value and point you in the right direction and reinforce what they're sharing, or I could be completely destructive and start giving away hot takes and perspectives that they don't want me to share and things that could absolutely jeopardize or disrupt their business. And so just know that to be able to be invited into sort of this family, the four walls of your business, to be able to share with you guys, it means a lot to me. And again, it doesn't get lost on me to be able to honor that time and that relationship. So I'm also very grateful that I've gotten a chance to meet the Highfields at a little bit of a deeper level. We actually got to kind of participate in a leadership event too recently. I can't go through the details, but it gave us a good chance to get to know each other. We happen to be part of a winning organization. I'll just say that we dominated.
Oh, we kicked butt. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
it's an understatement
Yeah.
when I say that. Once it's out there in the public sphere of this leadership training that we were a part of, we absolutely dominated everybody else that was in that room. So I got a chance to get to know them there, and then of course back to South Africa. And so it's been a wonderful journey. It's funny enough, today is March 4th. March 1st was actually my 1 year anniversary with LifeVantage. And so yeah, on March 1st of 2024, I said yes to LifeVantage. I became a official consultant with the LifeVantage family. And what a 1 year it's been. I seriously, it feels like at best it's been 8 or 9 months, maybe. Like I can't believe 12 months has gone by. But I can tell you without an ounce of a doubt, you guys have experienced this too. But when you're having a great time tends to move really, really fast, right? If you're at a party, if you're out at dinner with people that you love, you look at your watch and you're like, where did the time go, right? Time moves incredibly fast when you are absolutely excited about where you are and who you're with. the opposite is true. We've all been at a job where maybe we're not all that excited, and right after 2 or 3 o'clock, you keep looking at that clock, and that last 2 or 3 hours of your job seems like it crawls, right? It's like, how did the last 3 hours become the 9 hours, right? And that's generally because we don't end up enjoying the time that we're spending. And so I chalk it up to the fact that I've had a great time here in my first year, and that's why the time has been moving really, really fast. So I get to be in a unique position where, I mean, the first few calls that I did with the LifeVantage family, I was sharing perspectives on why I chose LifeVantage. Now, a year later, I can tell you maybe some of those choices and how that expectation has been met or exceeded, if you will, right? So meaning it's not in theory, right? So for example, a year ago, I had said on a Facebook Live that I joined LifeVantage because I believed it had credible, exciting products. Now, the reason why I say believe is because I did see the peer-reviewed studies. I'd seen all the science and the accolade. I got to meet with the product development team. So I knew the products were great, but until you have a personal connection with the products, the science doesn't really mean much. I'll tell you right now, the science is not what keeps people on the product. It's their personal experience with that product. And all of our experiences are going to be, slightly different. For some of us, it might have been for better health. For some of us, it might have been a pain management issue. It might have been a specific health ailment, whatever it is. So your personal connection to the product is going to matter. And that connection is really, that emotional connection to the product is what's going to make the products that you can't live without, if you will, right? And so a year ago, on paper, I saw incredible products. A year later, I'm telling you, these activation products, there's something in them, right? Right? I feel the best that I've ever felt. I've always been a part of the wellness industry, so I do feel like I've, on a spectrum of health, I don't consider myself like a level 10 crazy lunatic when it comes to my health, right? I mean, you look at some of these people doing some crazy things, and I know it's good for your body. I just, like, you can't get me to do a cold plunge right now. Not yet. I live in California for a reason. So I'm not going to go out there and pay extra taxes and live in the chaotic world of California to sit in an ice bath, right? So there's certain things I will not do, right? But certainly taking care of proactive ways to go out there and take care of your body, to keep your body at its peak state, that I will do. And I do that because I know that it's kind of like a retirement account. The earlier you invest into your health, the more dividends it's going to pay out later in your years. And, we want to know that we're in our best state for our children, our grandkids, our future families, whatever those experiences are. And so I think the products are incredible. My personal stories, I use collagen as a recovery product. I run, and it's done incredible things for me in recovery. I mean, sometimes I'll do 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons. I've gotten into Spartan races, albeit a little less this past year because I've been incredibly busy launching my business here at LifeVantage, but I'll do back-to-back Spartan races on a weekend, and I know how my knees feel. I know how my legs feel. I know how my muscles feel. And so I can tell when recovery is working at a faster pace. And for any performance athlete or anybody who's in a gym, you know that the gym session is important, but recovery is also just as important, right? When it comes to the corporate team, I met a team that felt very, very confident, very, very competent. But I got to see the heart of these people, right? There's only so much you can gather from their resumes, right? You can tell Julie and Lisa and Steve and Kristen and Jay, these guys have an extensive resume, right? I mean, you can tell these are smart, incredible executives. But it isn't until you really start to sit down knee to knee, belly to belly with these people and begin to have real conversations. And that's when you get to really know their heart and really what their intentions are for the company. And again, albeit that I haven't been around in the company long, so I don't know the previous executive teams. Like, I don't know what the management shifts and changes have been like, but I can tell you what managements look like in other companies, right? And I came from one where it started in the right place. It started with great intentions, but with success comes greed. And when your owners and your high-level executives do not have the right tenets, when their moral compass and the integrity is not firmly rooted in a solid identity, it is very easy to stray from the original identity of the company. And that's where I found myself after 12 years of a previous business. I could hardly identify and align with some of the values of the company. There was manipulation tactics, there were predatory behaviors, there were deceit. I mean, formulations of products were changing that we weren't disclosing to the consumers, and because this is a privately held company. And here I come, and Tyler is talking about all the benefits of being a publicly traded company, talking about the fact that LifeVantage has to disclose everything, good, bad, or ugly. They have to show everything. And that gives me a great deal of confidence because, as you know, as a consultant, when you share these products, these life-changing products with your friends and family, you want to know that you have the confidence to stand behind these products and not get flack because it doesn't work, or get flack that something isn't working the way it's intended, right? So the products have been incredibly great. The corporate team has far exceeded my expectations as it comes to their performance and what they do for the company. And the Evolve compensation plan. Again, Tyler, I got to sit down with Tyler. If you guys know, Tyler Daniels happens to be my sponsor in the business. I actually got to choose my sponsor, and it was kind of a scary thing because I didn't know anybody here. But I got to have a conversation with a few presidentials, and I identified a couple of commonalities with Tyler, and so I ended up choosing Tyler to be my sponsor. Obviously, I could have gone frontline to the company, but I felt like I wanted to be mentored. Again, 20 some odd years I've been building the business, and for the most part, other than what I was initially taught in our industry and other than outside mentors who helped me continue to elevate my business, most of the business was forged by me just continuing to develop myself. And while that works, if you're motivated, you can greatly compress decades into days if you find a good mentor. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm starting my business all over again, albeit that I'm not that old, but I want to go out there and I got to build a previous 12-year business. I got to build that inside of LifeVantage in 3 years if I can, right? And so I thought having a good mentor would help that process, and it's been incredibly helpful. And so Tyler went out there and talked about all the mechanics and why Evolve was so great. And a year ago, that was like sort of theory, right? Because like Evolve was relatively new. I think when I had joined LifeVantage, Evolve was launched and you guys were still going through sort of a transition period. You guys were kind of being blended from the old plan into the new plan. And it wasn't until maybe like a month or two before I joined that you guys were what they consider full Evolve. That's what they called it, right? And so what was exciting is that the new Evolve plan had been sort of changed to reward certain behaviors. Fundamentally, Evolve wanted to go out there and still honor and celebrate the foundational tenets of network marketing and what leveraged income and residual income was all about. But it was designed to expand and become inclusive for our affiliates and influencers and our social marketers, which you cannot deny has become a new wave and a new way of doing selling, right? I mean, it's something, like it's funny, like TikTok training wasn't a thing 10 years ago, right? I mean, if the Highfields can remember back to their early days of network marketing, we weren't talking about how to do social media lives. There was no such thing as Zoom etiquette, guys. I mean, this was pioneering like stuff because none of this stuff was available. Again, when I first started in my first network marketing company, a little over 22 years ago, the member kit still had a VHS tape. I did not own a VHS player. So I had joined this company at a time where we were transitioning from VHS tapes to DVDs. And so I got my member kit and it had a VHS tape. And I looked at the company and I said, what am I going to do with it? I don't know anybody who owns a VHS player. So that gives you an idea. We used to have to fax in our member applications. There was no such thing as real-time online enrollments. And so we are in a new frontier of network marketing and social selling. And so the Evolve plan was designed to be able to include all of this growing innovation. And so what's really exciting about that is a year later, we know that's not theory anymore. We do have legitimate influencers. And again, we all fall on some spectrum of this. So again, wherever you identify, the cool part is the Evolve plan has a space for you. Okay, you can be the extreme mega influencer who has, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 followers. You got that blue check mark. People follow you. You're out there doing video content creation. I can't do that. I mean, it's exhausting to see these content creators out there doing this 24/7. But certainly we have influencers that have proven that through the Evolve model that they can go out there. We've even had somebody who's an influencer that hit EC2 while we were at Kansas City. I mean, their sales numbers were absolutely bonkers. What they were able to earn through the Evolve plan handsomely can compete to some of our top EC level leaders. So it's possible that you could build this business all without building a traditional team and still succeed. Now, on the flip side of that, you would think that we would abandon, like in our network marketing space this past year, you've seen a lot of companies move away from network marketing and say, we're now an influencer company, we're an affiliate company. But LifeVantage doubled down on their commitment to network marketing. If anything, they built out the residual. They went out there and balanced out the way the commissions are paid out. And there's a great back-end program that still honors and celebrates the fundamental benefits of network marketing. And so I think it's beautiful that people can exist anywhere on that spectrum. You can be solely a customer-focused, customer-driven person. You can be a sort of a massive master team builder and leveraged, income builder, or you can be a blend of everything. You can be 60-40, 70-30, 20-80. And the Evolve plan, again, not in theory, because it's been a year, it proves that it can work, right? And so that's really, really exciting about the opportunity. So here I am right now, about, I don't know, 40, 50 days away from Global Conference. And albeit that I've experienced a lot of incredible firsts. I've experienced my first virtual event with LifeVantage. I've experienced my first Market Connect with LifeVantage. I experienced my first massive product launch, which happens to be the MindBody GLP-1 launch with LifeVantage. I've gone on a few trips. I've gone on the first executive trip. But here's a first that I have not yet done with LifeVantage, which is to attend a global level convention event. So we're about 50 days out from it. And why is that significant for me? And in turn, why would that be significant for you to hear? Convention, for example, like we know that's where the company puts in all the energy and resources to really like align the company and the people and the consultants. It's like sort of a slingshot. Whatever they do at conference, it is in the company's best interest to go out there and create massive excitement and alignment with the field to get the best movement forward for the next 18 months. So in LifeVantage case, every 18 months is global. And so a lot of my teammates who followed me from my previous business, our previous company, we did well. We were, when I joined the company, it was worth about $6-7 million a year. By the time at the peak of the company had grown to a little over $100 million. Now that's half the size of LifeVantage. So it's not massive. But for, my organization, we were almost 63% of that company's total revenue. So again, my income was really good in that company. Now, here's the thing. As good as that company was, our biggest event was about the same size as Market Connect. So nobody in my previous business has ever experienced a live event with over, 2,000 people, right? Market Connect, I think, was like 1,400 people. And I think our biggest convention in our previous company was about 1,600 people. So there's a saying that says that once you expand your mind, through inspiration and motivation and growth, it's hard to get that mind to shrink back, right? I always joke around, the wrinklier your brain is, it means you've done some learning, right? If your brains are smooth and it looks like a bowling ball, if we do we cut off that top of the head and your brain looks super smooth, it means you haven't learned anything. Your mind has not been grown and stretched and expanded, right? And so this is an opportunity for myself, my teams, and as well as probably a lot of you guys to expand your minds to what is possible with LifeVantage. And that possibility is no more evident at Global than it would be at a virtual event. Virtual events are great, but I think Global is the most in-your-face sort of opportunity to see what LifeVantage is all about. And so there's this concept, and I want to leave you with this before I kind of turn it back and you guys can, use the time as you guys need to. There's a concept that I train on called the second sign up. Okay. And I want you guys to think about this. And the second sign up is something that's crucially important for your business. Okay. Everybody on this call has gone through their first sign up, and the first sign up is the literal one. It's the one where you guys enroll, you give your credit card, you put down your social security number, you enroll, and as a sort of a ceremony of your first sign up, you get a new member kit, you get a ID number. Most of you guys will have an ID number, right? That is your first sign up. I'm going to go out there and tell you right now, the first sign up is easy. It's easy. Anybody can do it. Anybody willing to put down a credit card or a payment will get that first sign up. You know what I mean? And that first sign up, though, unfortunately, has a very, very low commitment to that first sign up because it's not that hard to do. Now, again, I'm not discounting the fact that an extra $500 spent or $1,000 spent, whatever you spent on your enrollment pack isn't a big deal. It is a big deal. But in sort of the game of life or in the world of business, $500 is really nothing. It's a low barrier to join a incredible business where the upside is like almost unlimited, right? Once you see what these presidentials make, you kind of like your jaw hits the ground. You're like, holy cow, right? So the barrier to entry is relatively low. The upside is incredibly, incredibly high. This is an easy business to get a lot of people potentially into. But because it's easy to do, you guys know the slight edge philosophy, it's also easy not to do, meaning it's also easy. If it's easy to join and come in, it's also easy to leave, right? And that's why network marketing generally has a lot of turnover, right? People join, people leave, people join, people leave, people join, because again, there's no personal experience there. But I'm going to tell you right now something that can greatly increase retention, and that's to get people to the second sign up. So now you're wondering, what is the second sign up? Well, the second sign up is where you give me your social security number and you send me your card. No, I'm kidding. That's not what it is. The Highfields got scared. They're like, oh boy, here we go. This is not what we signed up for. Now, the second sign up is actually something that happens internally for you guys. Okay. It's not something that an upline can do for you. It's not something that any trainer can do for you. It is going to be your personal experience where your why begins to connect to the vehicle, right? Whatever the reason is that you got started in this business. And that may be to build something for your children. It may have been to go out there and better the finances for your family. Maybe if you're young, it's to pay off some debts and buy a home. Whatever that personal reason is, whatever that dream was. And again, I know a lot of times it feels silly to say out loud what the dreams were, but I guarantee you, when you saw that first presentation and you were saying yes to LifeVantage, albeit that it was probably really quick, somewhere in the back of your mind, something kind of blipped on the radar. You're like, maybe this can pay off my medical bills. Maybe this can maybe pay off some of my credit card bills. Maybe this could allow me to walk away from my job. Now you'll quickly like dismiss that. You'll be like, no. I'm starting to dream really big. I just need to make $100. I just need to make $200, and then you quickly reel it back into what you consider as a practical goal. But let's be honest, all of us have played a big scenario in our head somewhere quietly deep inside. And until we get to that second sign up, sometimes we don't give our permission to declare that, right? So the second sign up is where you begin to connect that commitment to a higher calling, right? You begin to understand what the mission is. You get to understand what your greater purpose is. You understand where you fit in this sort of tapestry of what LifeVantage is all about. Again, I'm one member in hundreds and thousands of consultants. It's easy for me to dismiss myself and say, well, what does it matter? Like, I mean, if I quit, LifeVantage is still going to continue forward and it's going to do well. Why do I matter? But the answer is we all matter. Because there's someone in your sphere of influence that no matter how good Brian is, no matter how good Holly is, no matter how good I am, we're never going to reach that person. We're never going to be able to connect with that person. And what if there's someone in your sphere that desperately needs something to change their health? Desperately something to change the outlook and trajectory of their finances. And you're the only one that can connect with them. That means you are vitally important, right? You are part of this mechanism, this tapestry that allows us to connect with other people that without you, we wouldn't be able to make that connection, right? And so what I noticed, if I can give away one secret, people say, well, Daniel, if the second signup is so crucially, vitally important for everyone's business, where can someone go or what can someone do to experience the second signup? Now, there's a lot of ways to experience the second signup. It can happen very intimately. Like, for example, like I could be out in South Africa sitting at a dinner table with the Highfields having a really candid conversation about our experience with network marketing, and something could click, and that could be my second sign up. It could happen at a very, very intimate level. I want to let you know, I have a leader. His name is Emerson Aquino. He's younger than me. He was one of my top leaders in our previous company. He's here with me at LifeVantage. Emerson Aquino was a glorified preferred customer in my previous business. He was doing nothing. He was just kind of driving his girlfriend to events. He was picking her up and taking her home. He really wasn't participating in the business. But it wasn't until he went on an incentive trip, and he's a swimmer, so he was in the pool just swimming. That's all he was doing. He was just at a Cancun beach. He was just swimming in the pool, at the resort pool. And one of the top leaders, equivalent to like a presidential leader, happened to be in the pool. And so stopped Emerson, asked him about his story, and shared his story, and they had connected as Filipino immigrants. And that story, what they shared in that pool, inspired him to engage in the business, and he would go on to become one of the most successful, youngest business builders in our previous company, right? He was about 30% of my business. And that happened because he had a second sign up in a pool, right? It sounds silly. But if you want to know what's the greatest opportunity, if you as a Timba, what is the one single way to increase the odds of people experiencing the second sign up? It's at big live events. It's like there's not a secret to this, guys. Getting your teams, getting 100 people to global convention, getting 10 people to global convention, whatever that number looks like for you, what if you could put yourself in a position where not 1 out of 10 people experiences the second sign up, but what if 4 out of 5 or 4 out of 10? Anything that you could put the odds in your favor greatly changes the outcome of your business. And the bigger, the more powerful the event is, the likelihood of someone experiencing the second sign up, it gets exponentially increased, right? And that happens because people connect with a bigger vision. They see other people succeeding. They see other stories. They see people like themselves that are maybe in a different state or a different team, but there's another teacher, there's another engineer, there's another lawyer, there's another parent. That inspires people. There's somebody who dealt with certain medical ailments and overcame that. So you get inspired by it. You get to connect and you become tighter woven into this tapestry of LifeVantage. And so, for me too, like I'm bringing my teams because I want my teams to experience their second sign up in LifeVantage. We've been here for a year. A lot of them have had the first sign up. They're in it. They identify. They have a subscription. They have an ID number. But I can tell when I look in their faces, a lot of them have not yet personally connected with the company yet. right? I know I have, and I've been very fortunate because I've been able to have the opportunities to sit down with the executive team, the opportunities to go on beautiful trips where I get to have intimate conversations. So that's allowed me to connect pretty quickly. But for my teams, I think global convention is going to be the way that they go out there and have that second sign up experience. And so I want that for you guys, and I know that firmly changes the way the team feels, right? You can tell when people are have gone beyond that second sign up, right? So that's really what's exciting for me. And there's no better time than now, right? I mean, you know, you guys know that certain fishes, especially like and I'm sure maybe it's all fishes, but like I know this to be true about koi fish. When you get a koi fish and you put it in a body of water, the koi fish will only grow proportionate to the size of the water, like the body of water. So if you put it in a small pond, the koi fish will only grow so big. Even if you keep feeding it, it'll only stay so big to maintain sort of a balance with the ecosystem. But you put that koi in a bigger pond, that koi will continue to grow. So here's the thing, you could be in an opportunity, and if the pond isn't growing, then you're kind of stuck, right? Even though it's a $200 million company. And again, I'm being very honest with you. This was one of my biggest concerns and questions I asked Tyler, I asked Steve, I asked Kristen, I asked Jake when I was first looking at LifeVantage. I'm a brand new koi fish coming into the LifeVantage pond. That pond stayed at relatively $200 million for a long time. Do I have the opportunity to be put into this pond alongside all these other presidentials, all these EC4s and EC3s and EC2s and EC1s? Do I have the room as a koi fish to grow in this company? It's a valid answer, valid question and concern. But what I saw in the last year is, again, I don't know exactly the numbers, but I think LifeVantage end of Q4, like last year, 230 some odd million dollars. So guys, the pond is growing. We have the opportunity to grow with this. And again, I'm fractions and fractions of the size of this company. And so that's what's exciting to me. It shows me that we are truly in the right place at the right time. And again, at the doorsteps of an incredible second sign of opportunity. So anyways, thank you so much. I'm going to hand the call back over to the Highfields. And again, I'll stick around and stay on the call if there's anything else you guys need.
No, that was awesome. And I love the concept of the second sign up, because I think that happened to me. I think anybody who's been in this industry for a while can really identify with that concept, because it was a year after I had done my official sign up before I went to my first event, and it was a global convention. And that's where I saw the vision. I saw everything and started to believe that, what was actually possible. And so I really like what you said about that. And I think a lot of people can identify that, and maybe looking forward to their second sign up. Maybe they've already done the first sign up and they're really looking forward for that moment for the second sign up. The other thing is, I had to laugh because you talked about your leader, had that second sign up in a pool. Well, a lot of these people are here from a leader who we had a similar experience in a hot tub. So we have what we call the hot tub intervention, and that's where we kind of sat this leader down and really made them focus on what was possible. And a lot of these people in this call are here today because of that hot tub intervention, as we label it. So that was that reminded me of that. But Daniel, I just love to hear you talk. I could hear you talk all day long. Honestly, could. Just so many great things that you said there, and it's just so many pearls of wisdom. And I really hope people are paying attention. I hope they're taking some notes and committing some things to memory of what you said. I know I did. And so thank you so much for taking time and your busy afternoon there in California to be on our call tonight and really just share your wisdom with everybody. So thank you so much.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys. Looking forward to meeting you guys at Global.
All right. Appreciate you, Daniel. Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, you guys, if you enjoyed listening to Daniel, go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat. I know I enjoyed listening to him. Again, as you kind of go through for those of you who have been around for a while, I love that he talked about the second sign up, because I feel like, your why, or the reason why you do things, changes over time. And maybe you've already hit what you initially set out to do, right? So you don't necessarily have that extra drive, or you haven't had that aha moment to really maybe, push you forward and take more risks and get to that next level, right? You're like, hey, I made it. And you've just allowed yourself to be comfortable. And let's be honest, comfortable feels good. It's familiar. People like to know things. They don't necessarily like surprises. They don't like the unknown. And when you're comfortable, most of the time we know. And so I love that he kind of talked about that second sign up, because you're going to have those aha moments. This is our 13th year, Brian, this month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
this month, I think March is
Yeah,
our
it was the end of
13th
March.
year
We signed
anniversary.
up 13 years ago. Yep.
Yeah, 13 years ago. And so, our why has changed over time. When I first got started, initially, my goal was to get out of a job that I completely loathed. It was just miserable. It was impacting my health. It was changing who I was as a person. But it like going to the event is what changed that for me. Like initially, I had no interest. I didn't understand what was possible. But once I went to my first event, then my eyes opened and I'm like, oh my gosh, this actually could replace my job if I wanted it to. And then after I went to another event, I was like, oh my gosh, I started to get excited about having other people on our team show up to the events and seeing how they were experiencing the events and the music and the stories and the connections and watching them have success and walk across stage and be proud of their efforts, which for some people is really difficult to do. And so it's like with each event, I took away another, like he kind of referred to it as another sign up. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is so much bigger than me. And I had new whys and I had new things that were driving me to keep going. And so I don't know.
Yeah, Sarah asked, like, how did Daniel hear about LifeVantage? And and this is a good lesson, guys. He didn't hear about it until someone from corporate called him. So Jake, one of our newest corporate team members, executive vice president of sales, knew Daniel, knew that the company he was with was going through some big changes, and Daniel was looking for his next adventure and called him. And Daniel had never heard of LifeVantage before Jake called him. That's two executives that I know, guys, that's happened. The first were Bobby and April Wagner, also at the EC2 level. Their company, they were in a nutrition company, and that company was shut down. And there was someone who was in a very similar position at corporate LifeVantage, called them up and said, you need to take a look at LifeVantage. And Bobby's like, I never heard of LifeVantage, didn't even know they existed. And now they're thriving EC2s here today. So there's two executive leaders who never heard of this company, get a phone call from someone in corporate and join the company after they look under the hood. So good lesson for people. Don't assume people have heard about it. Don't assume, even if they're in network marketing, that because they might be looking for their next adventure, and we got a good one for them. So keep that in mind.
So awesome. And then as we round out tonight, we wanted to go ahead and have kind of like this is interactive. All right. So you may have to *6 yourself to take yourself off of mute. If you're on Zoom, hopefully you know how to take yourself off of mute for that. But we're going to talk a little bit about a culture statement or a mission statement. I don't know. Raise your hand. Does anybody know what a mission statement is? Or have you heard of like a team culture statement? Yeah. Did you guys know that we as Team Legacy actually have a mission statement? We do. We actually have a mission statement. We have a mission statement that's included in all of our welcome letters. It's actually at the top of our team website. We have a mission, and it's something that we went ahead and it's something that we created early on, obviously, when we started the Team Legacy team. And Daniel kind of alluded to this, quote, special training that we're not really supposed to be talking about, that in which we flew out to Utah, and we were able to go ahead and experience. And there's been ongoing training and personal development with that, which we've just been blessed to be a part of. And so we want to continue to take those lessons and move them forward. And we want to involve you guys in that process, right? A culture statement's going to speak to what we see as our organization. Like, what do you want Team Legacy to stand for? When you think of a culture, what does culture mean to you? What type of culture do you want to foster within your own team, within Team Legacy, within Team LifeVantage? Right? What are some things that you would want to be a part of that? And so we kind of have a statement that we initially came out with. And I did actually condense it down from integrity. That's right. Marlon said integrity first, right? You want to be able to be a part of a company and a culture that has integrity. And I think Daniel actually even talked about this, right? Some people have a good moral compass, that they have integrity. People who aren't always putting themselves first, right? And I love that. And so I don't know if I could probably share screen. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can share screen what I got here. And then feel free to chime in also, Brian, if you want. So I took a stab at initially writing a culture statement for the team, kind of taking into account our current team legacy mission. And this is what I came up with. But as I'm reading it, we generally want you guys' feedback. I want you to tell me, what do you like? What would you like to add? What do you think it's missing? So it says, at our core, we believe in creating a culture of growth, collaboration, and empowerment. Success starts with personal development, and we're committed to fostering an environment where every individual is encouraged to learn, evolve, and thrive. Collaboration is the key to our success. We value the diverse ideas, skills, and experience each team member brings, knowing that together we can achieve more. Every voice is heard, and we cultivate a supportive, inclusive atmosphere where teamwork drives growth. We believe and appreciate and support. Every effort, big or small, is recognized and celebrated. Our culture promotes open communication and trust, ensuring that everyone feels valued, whether reaching milestones or facing challenges. Mistakes are opportunities to grow, and we encourage taking risks and learning from those experiences and improving together. Above all, we are committed to making an impact in the lives of those we meet, lifting each other up and empowering everyone to be their best selves, personally, professionally, and collectively. Pause.
So, Marlon brought up integrity, right? And we talk about trust in there, which goes along with integrity, but I think integrity is a good word, and good concept to fit in here as well.
Okay.
Because I know that's important to everybody, right? But the words that stick out to me, and again, we want to hear from people. You want to put it in the chat, or whether you want to take yourself off of mute and add your input. What concepts or what words stuck out to you and what's missing? But collaboration is a big word in here. It's actually, I think, in here twice, at least twice. Being able to collaborate, being able to work together, because we can achieve a lot more together than we can as individuals. So I think a collaboration really sticks out and is a key, a cornerstone piece of this. Support is another one. We're here to support each other. We want to see everybody succeed, and so everybody supports everybody. So I know that's a big part of our culture. So it's listed in here at least twice. And and I think growth is in here a lot. You all grow. We're all growing as people because we need to grow into what we want to become. So growth, again, it's in here at least twice, right? It's at the top, culture of growth, and it's also at the bottom. And it's also at the second paragraph, 12, drives growth. So growth is listed at least 3 times here in this statement. So what else is sticking out for people?
This is Mary. It's inspiring to hear that you have come up with something so impactful. I was writing down words the last month or so, and I'm so happy to hear that to hear what you have to share. And what sticks out the most, it's hard to tell, but I just say, let's go forward, doing the basics better. And
Yeah.
thank you for your support.
All right. Thanks for that, Mary. Anybody
Well,
else?
Yeah, we genuinely want your input, you guys. Tell us, like, if you were to have your own, like, if you had your own army, right? What would you want them to be inspired by? What would you want what would you want your mission statement to be like? What would that look like? What are the things that you would want included in that? What's important to you?
Hi, this is Velma. I wanted to thank you guys for setting up this call and for Daniel for coming on. I don't know if he's still on or not, but and then about the thoughts and what you just shared, trust and support really stands out to me because you live that way. You're showing us the way, and I guess that's what I want for my own team. And it really stands out how we can, I say we experience that when we go, say, to Team Legacy. We experience that from crossline and downline and upline and whatever, you know, each way we're all one family. So integrity is definitely very important, and trust and support both, I'd say, go hand in hand with that. So I'd say that's what probably mostly sticks out to me.
Awesome. Oh, thanks, Velma. Holly's taking notes as you can't see it, but she's kind of writing down what you're saying. So anybody else have some thoughts?
I think everybody else has fallen asleep. I don't know.
It is getting to that time, but yeah, please chime in if you have some thoughts. You know, and this is an exercise really it's under the leadership cause, and we really want to. I mean, this statement really becomes kind of a guidepost for our team culture. And so when people become part of an organization, become something bigger than themselves, you kind of need that guidepost to help ground and help people understand and feel good about the organization that they're part of. And that's why this is important. That's why we're spending some time on it and discussing it with all of you.
Right.
Any final thoughts?
Yeah, something I was thinking about, this is Sarah, for those of you who can't see me. I think it's good to be respectful of other people's levels of desire. Like some people, like I have several consultants in my downline, but none are really like wanting to actively build. Do you want to say something? Yeah. No. And I think it's important to me, like, to remember to like they're still valuable in my organization, and maybe 3 years from now that something will maybe they'll get a fire in their heart for like sharing more about the products and stuff. But to just like support them and love them no matter what their level of desire or desire level of success is.
No, I like that. And Holly kind of nailed it with the phrase we use a lot, right? Love them where they're at. You know, and other ones I've heard is walk with your walkers and run with your runners. So everybody plays a role and everybody decides where they fit in. And you got to respect and appreciate that people are in. Just appreciate the fact that they are in, they're activated, they're sharing. Although some may share more than others, everybody's sharing. So everybody has their role. And so I really like what you said there, Sarah.
Yeah, I love that. We can definitely look to incorporate that into here. This is actually a lot shorter too. My original version was twice as long, and so I've really tried to condense this down. Right now, it's only 100 words. That seems to be the average for a culture statement. We can certainly try to make it even fewer words and just as impactful. But I do love the, speaking to trust, support, integrity. respecting people where they're at based off whatever that level of desire is to them. We talk about that a lot. We never want anyone to feel less than because they're maybe not necessarily doing what others are doing. And again, it's about creating that family. I like to say we have a family-like culture here on Team Legacy, as well as within LifeVantage. We want this to be a family that you want to spend time with. I mean, let's be honest. Sometimes we get around our family and we're like, oh, is so-and-so going to be there? Because I just don't know if I can handle him again or handle her again. Or, we want you to, when you're taking time away from your family, investing in yourself and coming to the events, especially, we want you to enjoy yourself and we want you to feel like you're part of a family. So you may be in a situation where you're having to leave your family behind for a little bit to be able to come and invest in yourself and grow and learn and expand your belief and your vision when you come to a global convention. But we want you to feel like you're coming to meet your other family, right? Another family that's gonna give you that extra shot in the arm that you need so that you can continue to go back and do everything for the people that you love the most and that matter the most to you. So as we wrap up, anybody else have any other suggestions or insights?
I appreciate people staying on this long, and it looks like most everybody has stayed here. So obviously people are getting some value out of this, which I love.
This is Mary again, and these calls are like a touch base every month for us, especially for the ones that don't have technology. And I feel like it primes the pump and it waters the seed. And keep on the good work. We really appreciate what you two do for us.
Awesome, Mary. Likewise, we appreciate you.
Good to hear your voice, dear.
All right.
Well, that's a wrap. Again, you guys, this will be uploaded tomorrow onto our Team Legacy YouTube channel. I will also upload it onto the Dial My Calls for those of you within our Amish community, so you can listen back to the replay should you want to, or share it with other members of your team. But don't forget, it's March Madness. We've got a Team Legacy bingo out there. You can earn LifeVantage swag, top leader incentives, and the opportunity to get a one-on-one coaching session with top executive leaders, even presidentials here within LifeVantage. So go out there, have some fun, maybe even find someone that you can compete with. Be like, I'm going to get a bingo before you get a bingo, right? Maybe have a little bit of fun with it. And let's just have an incredible month. We got 31 days. It's a nice long month. Plenty of time in order to make magic happen, you guys. So thank you again so much for all that you do. We appreciate you. And have yourself a fantastic week and a month of March.
All right. We'll see you, everybody. Real quick plug. No, guys, we're going to be in Ohio.
Oh, that's right.
March 18th and 19th for 2 meetings, the 18th in Berlin and 19th up in Middlefield. So put those on your calendar. It'll be at the Back 40 in Middlefield and be at the Berlin Community Center on the Tuesday, the 18th. So Holly and I will both be there with Austin, believe it or not.
Yes.
For those 2 meetings there in Ohio. So make sure that's on your calendar.
I completely forgot about that. We probably should have opened up.
Yeah, we just nailed that down just the past 2 days. So I want to make sure everybody's aware.
So it's not in the newsletter, you guys. So for those of you on the phone, it's not in the newsletter. So please, 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 make a note of it. Reach out to anyone that you know that's on your team, customers or consultants. Let's get as many guests in the room as we can. Again, that's March 18th and 19th. If you want to call us offline, you can, and we'll go ahead and give you the address and the details and the times, but I'll also post them in the Facebook groups as well for those of you who have access to that. So, all right.
Now it's a wrap.
Now it's a wrap. All right. Good night,
All right.
everybody.
Bye,
Thanks.
everybody.
Night. Thank you.
Bye-bye.